Hi, I'm Jessica Nigri. I'm 22 years old. I've been cosplaying since 2009 at San Diego Comic-Con. I like long walks on the beach. I bet everyone says that.
How'd you get started?
How did I get started?
Yeah.
Actually, my friend who works for Lone Wolf Productions got me a badge to Comic-Con 2009, and I've always been like a huge nerd and like a big fan of stuff. So I was actually a huge fan of Pokemon. So I dressed up as Pikachu because he said, well, sometimes people dress up, so I had no idea what cosplay was. So I dressed up as like a sexy form of Pikachu because I thought it'd be funny, you know, like Playboy Pikachu.
Yeah.
As a 19-year-old would say. And then I came to Comic-Con, and it kind of blew up, and I was really taken aback at the kind of like attention. I had no idea what cosplay was, and then after Comic-Con, I found out, like looking online, that cosplay was this thing, and that people do it a lot, and it's really intricate, and it's really detailed, and it's really brutal, and it's also really extravagant and amazing because you get out there and you get to see so many people and meet so many things and do so many things. So that's kind of how it started. I got
So
the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, you know, you went to Comic-Con as your first con, so you actually never went to any in Phoenix.
Nope. My first one was San Diego Comic-Con.
You jumped right into the shark's pit right there.
Right in, yeah.
Okay, so how was that? You were here for all 4 days, and you basically ran through the whole experience.
And Wednesday, I was there for preview night, and I mean, like, I was literally just here to get like swag and just like get lots of. I mean, I got so much free stuff, and I have so many pictures of like famous people, and I was like, oh, this is so awesome. Because I've never been to an atmosphere where everyone is the same. You know, everyone likes the same stuff. Everyone's for the same stuff. Everyone's like aggressively fighting for the same T-shirt. You know, it's yeah.
So, in the beginning, how did you actually create? Like, how did you already have like a crafting background? You know how some people have crafting backgrounds?
Yeah.
They already know,
Kind of know how to do stuff.
kind of know, but they kind of stumble for a while.
Yeah.
Or did you have any abilities at all before?
Well, my mom does hats for the Kentucky Derby, and like she makes like those big like race day hats, and she makes outfits, and she's really creative. And my dad is also really creative because he made like, it's called like a bizarre bra. Wow. It's like a wearable arts thing in New Zealand, and he made that. So like we got like costuming in our blood, but like I didn't do very much in the beginning because like I had my mom help me a lot, and like I kind of threw stuff together because I had no idea what I was doing. You know, I was like, I'm just having fun with this. I'm gonna throw a costume together. I'm gonna go. You know, but there is a little bit of background, so I'm kind of creative.
And you should have somebody to fall back on, like, hey, can you tell me how
Like,
to do
Mom, how do you
Nope.
sew things?
this? So then, how many outfits have you done since 2009?
Oh my gosh. I want to say like 30. I really haven't sat down and counted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you still have the very first one you wore?
Pikachu? No. I wore it again to last year's San Diego Comic-Con for a charity thing. Me and this guy, Rob, we got together and we dressed up as, he was like a sexy Manchu, but he had like a blonde wig and he had a beard. And then I was like just sexy Pikachu. And we donated $500 to the Japan tsunami relief thing. And then I like broke the tail over my knee right afterwards and threw it in the trash can.
Oh, the end of an era.
Yeah.
So since then, up to now, at this point, how many cons do you actually hit a year? Minus what the promotional things that you do.
Okay, just on my own, I probably do maybe 4 or 5, just casually, you know, and then like with promotion stuff, depending on, like, because this year I've already attended maybe like 12, and it's only July, you know, and it's crazy. We like went to Japan, and I mean, it's been bananas, so.
I guess I should ask you about that whole experience because not very much people have the ability or have that chance to actually go to that many conventions.
It's really tiring. Like people like Yaya Han who do it like all the time. Holy crap, I could not do that. Like you have to pack your bags, like you're literally living out of a suitcase, you're losing things, you're constantly buying new makeup because you leave it, or the security line takes it, like the people at the ETA or whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying. English. That's not a thing for me today.
The TSA people.
The estimated time of arrival people. TSA, that's what I meant to say. You know, it's crazy. I don't know how people do it, so I would not recommend it. It was fun. I mean, Warner Brothers was amazing, and like I like they kept me going, and they're all so amazing over there. Like I'm still friends with like all the people with them, like that I worked with. So I mean, it was really easy in that retrospect that I could lean on my friends, you know, to be like, I'm having a hard day, and they'd be like, it's okay, we got you, here's a coffee, and I'd be like, oh, you know. But apart from that, I definitely wouldn't travel that much on my own.
Do you have any interesting experiences from that whole? How long was the whole? How long did that go
Lollipop
for?
Chainsaw? It was
Yeah.
February to June.
Oh, okay. So it was like around maybe March, April,
4
May.
months.
So how was any interesting experiences in that time?
I got to meet so many cool people because so many cool people worked on the game. So like, there's James Gunn, there's Michael Rooker, there's Norman Reedus, there's like all these people from The Walking Dead. I got to meet like the entire cast of like The Walking Dead at different intervals and stuff. And now I'm like on like texting basis. Like I don't know, it was just really cool because with the exposure, it kind of like brought my like level up, so I like could go out and talk to more people confidently, like Kevin Pereira and Yonan Vasquez, like the creator of Invader Zim and the G4 host, no longer, but you know, it just kind of, I don't know. Yeah.
So what's next after that?
What's next?
Yeah.
Taking a break after this.
I mean, so since
Going to school for marketing and advertising.
which actually fits right into
Yes.
what you do perfectly.
Yes. I was gonna do journalism, and then I was like, I don't really like to do that. I don't want to just be that person that's like, oh, you know. I wanna market and advertise. I want to be behind the scenes, you know. Maybe do this for a little bit longer, and then teach some other girls how to do it, like a madam.
I guess at this point I should ask you, like, what is it you get out of, what is the pros and cons of cosplay?
The pros are the amazing outfits that you can create and the level of creativity that you can find within yourself. And it's kind of cool because you get to become another person for a day, and everyone appreciates what you do, and you really push yourself when you like see a new project. You're like, oh my gosh, that looks crazy. How am I going to dye this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to paint this? How am I going to do that? And you make a lot of like amazing friends through cosplay. Like I'm sure you know that so many people just appreciate what you do, and like my friend Monica actually helped me a lot with this costume because she had all the techniques. Like she knew how to weather, she knew how to like sew things. She's like, oh, you just like tape this and then spray paint this. You got diamonds on your legs. And, you know, she's like so amazing. So
Doesn't it make it sound so easy when people explain to
when
you?
people explain it, but then when you're sitting there doing it, you're like, what the fuck?
Exactly, and then you gotta kind of like make the mistakes. It's like you kind of like, it's almost like riding a bike. You gotta fall down a bunch of times before you can actually pull that off right.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah. But I mean, with her help and with everyone's help, you know, you can totally do it. The cons, like the bad, is just how critical some people are. But then once you like get above that, it's gone. You know, and as soon as you just ignore it, you're like, I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm gonna have a good time. It doesn't matter. I'm way above that now. So at first that was bad. Also wearing heels is bad. I think that's probably the only con. You know, it's just how critical other cosplayers are of each other, and how mean some people can be.
Were you, when you first started this, you were not aware of this until it started?
Yeah, when I first started, I was like, oh cool, I was Pikachu. Then I like found out about this website, and then I was like, oh my gosh, people hate it. But then I realized there's such a small fraction of the world, it doesn't matter.
So, what advice do you have for what advice do you have for people who are starting out to cosplay?
Don't ever take what people say about you into account unless it's something that you know you can improve on. Like if someone says, you know, oh, you're being like a shitty person, then of course, you know, be like, okay, look within yourself. But always remember to spend your energy critiquing yourself and not critiquing others. You know, that way you can kind of build who you are on the inside and build that like strength that you need to kind of ignore what everyone else is going to say. You know, always treat people really well because you never know who you're going to meet or who they could be behind the mask, you know, because everyone's having a hard time in life. So just be a good person and just don't judge. Because then that puts it out into the universe and then it'll come back to you.
Exactly.
You know?
Let's go back to the childhood part. So was it more into comics or more into anime that you got?
Anime.
It was
I
more
was
into
definitely,
anime?
because my dad was responsible for all the games, because he would buy like Resident Evil and stuff, and we'd be sitting there as 6-year-olds watching him walk really slowly with his freaking
So we should blame your
freaked
dad.
me out, yeah. My dad loves like Speed Racer, he loves tabletop gaming, and like he's a huge nerd. I mean, me and him saw Lord of the Rings 12 times in the theater together.
Hey.
Yeah, the last one. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But
What was the first one you remember watching anime-wise?
probably Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z were my favorite. Like when I was 10.
So So,
Yeah.
when did you start figuring out that it was actually anime versus just cartoons in
I
general?
remember asking my dad, I was like, why is it that Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z characters have big eyes, but then like Rugrats and everything, they have like weird, like American styled eyes, you know? And he's like, oh, it's because Asians like to draw like with big, like glimmering eyes, because that's like the window to their soul. If they have big eyes, then they're innocent. If they have small eyes, then they're evil or something. You know? You know, like Chobits, like Cheese is like, oh, and
Yeah.
Hideki is like, but
Yeah.
he's not really evil, he's just being happy.
Yeah.
It's a bad example.
Wow. So you pretty much grew up in the culture itself without the actual going to the convention
Yeah,
aspect of it. Now, but before you even went to a con, did you had an idea what goes on at cons? Do you have an
I
idea
had
about
no
cosplay?
idea. I had no idea. No idea.
Do you have any advice? What advice would you give yourself like years ago?
Going back,
Yeah, if you go. Yeah,
match your yellows.
match your yellows.
Yes.
Oh, was there a case of something where it didn't totally match and then you got?
Yeah, all my yellows didn't match on my Pikachu costume. I know that's stupid, but that's the only thing. Yeah.
You know, so since you're pretty popular, you're probably getting a lot of negativity at you. How do you actually deal with that?
It's like duck on a. So, let me try that again. It's like water on a duck's back.
Just let it slide off you.
Yeah, duck's feathers are water resistant. Their negative comments are water resistant. I remember at the very beginning, because I had no idea what it was, I was really, really insecure when I started cosplaying, you know, because I was, like, even before that, I was super insecure. And it almost, I feel like it kind of happened for a reason. It kind of, like, shocked me to the point where it's like, do not care what people think, it doesn't matter. And then, like, it was like a blast of, like, negative comments that built my wall really fast. And you just have to think that every person that you meet probably goes through the same things. And those people that are saying negative things about you aren't in that spot, you know, so they don't know. So I kind of believe in that, the idea that if you treat them with kindness, no matter what they say about you, like I blatantly walked up to people that were talking crap about me, like, oh my god, that's just kidding. I came up, I was like, hey, I like your costume. I hope you have a good day. And they're just like, and then you see later on in comments on forums, oh my god, she came up to me, like, I was so embarrassed. And it's like, yeah, and I've called you out. But they're scared. Everyone's scared and has that underlying insecurity. So if you just know that, I don't know, you can kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
And usually it's just petty comments too. You know, then
Yeah.
once they run out of insults, you're like, haha! I've already guarded myself against these insults. If you can find something new about me, I might get down. But apart from that, I'm okay. But yeah, just don't care. Just live your life. Enjoy. Why waste your time on them when they're wasting your time on you? No matter
Exactly.
what, it's like whether it's good or positive, like bad or negative, you know, they're wasting their time on your life. Your life is taking part of theirs, so don't let them take yours.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Sweet.